Today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Loft command in Fusion 360, which is the exact command that I use to make the majority of the bodywork for this vase right here. As you can see, this all started with a single squiggly line that moved through multiple of these sketches. You'll see that I have a triangle on the outside and it's just ran between each and every one of them, and they're all set apart a certain distance. Once the loft was created, I could then use a circular pattern command and did this 30 times to create the body of it, and then there was a few more extra commands to tidy up the model as a whole. So if I open up a new sketch and create a rectangle, I'll just make it 50 by 50 mil to begin with, and then what we need to make the Loft command usable is multiple sketches. So I'm going to use a offset plane, and then I'll set this 50 mil away, and then I'll just use a completely different shape, since the Loft command actually allows us to transition from this square shape at the bottom to the circle. And now that we have our two sketches already made, we can use the Loft command and just select our two faces, and just like that you'll see that we have a shape that is transitioning from the square to the circle. Now this isn't the only way we can use it. We can add in another shape. I'll set this another 50 mil above, start a sketch on that plane, and then I will do something not quite so uniform, and the same Loft command should be able to handle this in exactly the same way, and this creates a bit of a unique shape that you really can't get with typical parametric modeling. But I find that the best way to go about creating a good loft is to also include the use of guide rails, and that is exactly what I've done here. So now that I've got the original loft showing, I'll open up my sketches, and you can see that on this final sketch right here, I've actually got some guide rails that come from, say, the point of the triangle here to the next point, and so on and so forth all the way up, and then I've done that for every point of the triangle. And I'll just quickly show you in a brand new file how it is that I went about doing that. So to begin with, I started with a circle just to represent the internal diameter of my vase, and then I'll create a triangle, and you can do this in whatever way you see fit, but this is what has worked for me. So I'll just create a line off the side of it, use the dimension tool and set this, say, 25. You can choose whatever you might like, and then I'm going to mirror this line as per the center line there and just trim the remaining. I'll also turn this into a construction line. So that marks our first sketch right here. Then I'll be using the offset plane, bring it up by however much you see fit. And a quick way of going about creating this sketch again, since we're going to need to, is obviously, as you likely already know, by using the copy and paste command. So what I just did there is I went into the previous sketch and then copied it, opened up my new one and pasted in the fresh one. So what I want to do here is actually just maneuver this triangle, and the way I'm going to do this is by creating a little construction line, locking it in place, and then when I move this one around, you'll see that it's actually moved out of position. So I'm going to use a concentric constraint between these two sketches to lock our circle in place. I'm then going to change the size of said circle, and then I'm going to create another triangle using the same method that I did before, and this time I'm going to use a 50 mil, might be too high, we'll go 30 mil. Of course, mirroring it the same way as I did previously and turning the center line into a construction line and using the trim tool to tidy up our sketch. And for the sake of time, rather than creating another unique sketch, I'm just going to create another offset plane, bring it up by 80. Like I said, this is completely down to what you prefer, and I'm just going to paste it once again, and this is the same sketch as what is on the bottom. And now what I can do is use the Loft command and then select the profiles that I'd like to go between, and you can do this for a number of profiles, with a minimum being 2, of course. And if I press OK, you'll see that the shape isn't exactly following the circular profile that I had in the middle. It actually intersects in between. When I'm creating a vase, this isn't exactly what I'm looking for, and that's where the 3D sketch construction lines come into play. So I'm going to turn on the visibility of the sketches, and then I'll create another sketch wherever you see fit. Honestly, it doesn't matter, because what we're going to do is enable this box on the right hand side of the screen here, and that is the 3D sketch box, and that does exactly what it tells you. It enables 3D sketches. Then I'm going to use the fit point spline. I'm going to connect it to the outside edges of each of these triangles and press OK once I'm done, and then I'll just continue this for each of the 3 points where the triangle has its edges. Once I've created all of them, these will now form my guidelines. And with the loft command, rather than just selecting the 3 faces like I did previously, we can come to the bottom side of this menu, as you can see over here, and we're going to start selecting our guidelines. Now you can do a center line as well if you wanted to draw a center line between the center of each of these triangles, but I like to use the rails as it creates a bit more of a uniform shape. So select on the mouse symbol that we have right here, and then we're just going to click on each of these rails, and you'll see, I'll show you with this last one, the shape will actually match the guide rails. Press OK, and just like that, we have a very uniform and fluent shape that you wouldn't be able to get with any other type of parametric modeling. And lastly, the way that I went about creating this shape and then almost copying and pasting it multiple times around in a circle is by using the circular feature, or the circular, what's the name of it? The circular pattern, of course. So yeah, you can select bodies, faces, or features. So in the event that you added something else to this, you might want to select features, and then you can just select your loft at the bottom. But if it is just the loft itself, we can use the bodies, select that, and then when you choose the axis on the right side of the screen here, we'll have the origin axis show up for us. You can create an axis yourself with the construct tab, but this will just do fine because I have created all of my sketches around the origin axes. Now if I just use 3, there's gaps, and I typically go for 20 because this fills in those gaps. And just like that, we have honestly not a very good looking vase, but it does show you how to use the loft command and how to create a bit of a stylish vase with it. So if you enjoyed this, if you found it helpful, subscribe. I've got more videos coming soon, especially on Fusion 360. Thank you very much for watching.